Hi, thank you for joining me on Cherie's weight loss journey. I'm gonna take my first walk. You ready, Snoopy? Let's go. Um, I woke up and I got a little disappointed at myself because the money that I spent on the salad should have went to bills, and it's gonna cost me, late charges. Um, it made me think about, 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, right? So I'm a little upset because it's like, okay, now I'm going to be forced to manage my diet with what I have in the house. I'm being forced to do it, right? Because you know what? Honestly, I probably would have considered, eating Wendy salads, right? Because cooking and cleaning and weighing and really paying attention to the nutritional value of food without carbs, without sugar, is taking full responsibility. Hi. It's taking full responsibility of managing my weight. It was something that, I was planning to do, right? But, you know, it's time consuming, and it's not like I don't have the time, because I have the time, right? I'm semi-retired, so I have the time. So the reluctance is probably some comparisons to some idea that. No, I just started walking and I haven't seen one. Okay. And here's the thing, right? It was really disturbing me. It was really bothering me. Okay? And, a part of me is just wondering, you know, did I really, make appropriate changes? I mean, I know, you know, the diet, you know, helped my feet, okay? And like I said, I didn't realize that my feet were swollen, okay? So even those slippers that I thought was the incorrect size, right? Like, oh, these shoes are the incorrect size. Feet could hardly get in them. But it was, the, you know, the swelling in my feet that I hadn't realized. Um, so I'm hoping that will assist me in being able, to stand and work my full shifts from now on, right? Because sometimes, the biggest problems that I have, you know, when I'm working is the problems with having to work with these shoes of compass toes. Um, yeah, it starts to really take a toll on my feet, and sometimes, I will kick them off for a few minutes, or um, when I'm conscientious of my feet hurting, I will actually, um, you know, massage, some of this aloe vera sea salt onto my feet, and that makes them feel, so much better. Okay, so yeah, feeling a lot of anxiety, right? Because I'm not going to be able to just say, well, I'll just, rely on the protein juice and a pre-made salad, okay? And this is something that, I can't do now. And not only feeling anxious, but also, you know, very irritable. So it's a good thing that I got out here and walked, for sure, right? Relieve some of that pressure, uh, vocalize, my disappointments, you know, and really try to work through, you know, these emotions, okay? Um, because, when you're an emotional eater, you know, and you're trying really hard to do something, and then, you may succeed in doing one thing, but, the cost, of something else, can make you feel defeated, right? I know I'm not really defeated, I know it's just, you know, a setback, and, you know, the whole goal is to, achieve, you know, independence and stability, okay? Um, while also, adjusting to health concerns, and limited finances. And true enough, you know, people will say, well, maybe you should find a new job and make more money, you know, and I would still feel uncomfortable, about my body, um, and not, radiate the confidence that I really want to radiate. Um, and plus, you know, I don't think I can fit, you know, any, professional interviewing clothing either. So yeah. Plus, I'm already going in there. What are you doing? Um, how many times are you going to shit? Um, yeah. So I'm already feeling, you know, the the pressure of having to be interviewed, and being 63 years old. Um, that's that's like a big negative in our society. Um, Stop it. Yeah. I'm irritable, and you know she's tug of warring and wanting to go confront these dogs behind fences and stuff, and it's just it just feels like a lot, right? Because you know what I want right now is for things to go smoothly. Okay? So, the next big bill I'm going to have is buying a bag of food for Snoopy. Okay? Um, I can buy the smaller bag and only spend $20. Okay? But, she'll probably eat that up in about 4 days. And, the other alternative, I guess, would be to call up Sheree and tell her, okay, you know, I'm convinced that, I can't feed myself and Snoopy, on, what I'm making. And, that would be, disappointing because she's been with me for, 15 years? And, yeah. So, it's something to think about, for sure. Because, for a while there, while I was struggling with money, I was giving her human food. And, she was up underweight. Okay? So I was told to, get her back on dog food, that the dog food will provide the nutrition that she needs so that, she can get the vitamins she needs and the be able to keep her weight up. She looks really good right now. But let's be honest, right? My daughter bought this food for her, right? So, as an emotional eater, right, I would definitely, be consumed in emotional eating and self-pity, okay? But I'm trying to activate a new simulation that we're not going that route. We're not. We're going to keep making course adjustments. Yes, we're not making, what do you call it, devastating mistakes. And, we just need to accept the fact that, we're not perfect and we make mistakes. Okay? So, now, I know and realize that, a $20 mistake, can turn into a problem. And I have nobody to blame but myself. And definitely shows me that, I'm definitely not ready for like renting anywhere because, shit, rent is due on the 1st. You get a 3-day, quit or leave notice on the 3rd. And technically you could be pretty much out if you don't pay by the 3rd. And what does that do? That will lead you to an eviction on your record, late charges, reletting fees until they find someone to, rent out your apartment, right? So you're going to be looking at a couple of $1,000s for sure. For sure. Because people don't have to give you a break. They can. A lot of times they do, but they don't have to. Okay? And when they don't, that's like, well, you gave all of these other people chances, why not me? And they're like, well, we gave all the chances, that we were allowed to, that's within, our ability to, and there it is. Then you feel bad because you're like, oh, I'm so unlucky, right? I'm so unlucky. So this is where, a lot of people don't understand that surely whatever place or situation that you're in, you're there based off of a budget of some sort. Okay? And you can't, stray from the budget, without first, analyzing the budget. And that's the truth. Right? Now, if I had friends or family that was doing better than me, yeah, I probably would have said, hey, let me borrow $20. But I don't have that. Okay? So, I have to rely on that the bank will let the check clear, and, then I can get by with, an overage charge, right? But I hope they don't reject it, and then I'll have 2 overage charges and a late fee. So that worries me a lot. Because, like I said, know, I was tempted not to take that risk and just go with the one late charge and pay when I got the money. So, on one hand, I'm hoping to avoid the higher late charge. And because it's such a small amount, I'm hoping that they will just let it fly. And I don't like to do that, right? Because it feels good to pay my bills. It feels good. And it feels awful when I can't pay my bills. So I know I'm rambling on and on and on about this situation, but you know, I'm really hoping that the walk and this rambling will help me feel better about accepting, you know, what I need to do going forward instead of, you know, dwelling on the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Okay? Now, I have, you know, purchased vegetables. They're frozen. I have canned food, like soups. I have protein drink, but I'll have to make it myself. Okay? And they're not the expensive brand that tastes good or may have some type of combination that helps reduce hunger. But I do have protein mix. And so, yeah. I have, you know, frozen meat. I have hot links. Even some protein pasta. Okay? I have a full container of, you know, egg whites. And yeah, I mean, things have just gotten real. All right? I really have to now prepare meals, prepare shakes, and I can't say, oh, that's not, you know, difficult, because in my mind it's difficult. You know, my mind is you know, stating that, yeah, you know, You have to be conscientious, right? You have to weigh portions. And quiet as it's been kept, all of this conversation, you will have to wash dishes and keep the kitchen clean. Okay? So, but on the brighter side, I have a clean kitchen. I have quality pots and pans. I have a sealing miller. And, I just have to decide, when I cook, do I want to cook for a day, or I want to cook for 2 days or 3 days, right? And of course, the easiest thing to do would be to cook for like 3 days. That way the food will be there. You won't spend money that you don't have. And, you won't be tempted, to just fry up some French fries and chicken nuggets. Right? So, yeah, that one there was like hiding in the background of my mind. You can always fry up some French fries and some chicken nuggets. But, that definitely will add carbs into my diet. And we've already reviewed that carbs, fruit, that stuff turns into sugar. And yes, you may burn them off, but you may also create a stoppage in the vagus nerve, right? That was something that I watched the other day, was about the vagus nerve. And that it's the vagus nerve that is controlling what we call automatic functions of our body, right? And it's the vagus nerve that, basically, sends signals to the bacteria and enzymes to do their work. Okay? Dang. The sun will come out tomorrow, right? Anyway. Sometimes, our emotions will make you feel like, you're a failure because you didn't hit the mark of smooth sailing, and you keep thinking that there's an option to just throw in the towel. And it's like, what towel? You better use that towel and wipe up your emotions. So yeah, this little bit of sunshine kind of makes me feel a little bit better. Because, it was feeling awful dreary. Right? I'm like, wait a minute. We went from full sun, 90 degrees, to now cloudy and rainy. I don't like that. Right? And you could best believe I looked outside before I was decided to go for a walk. Well, is it raining outside? Right? Like, well, if it's raining out there, I ain't gonna be able to go for a walk. Maybe I'll just do one walk if it stops raining tonight. Stuff like that, It's the type of thinking that should be canceled, right? You're canceled, thought. And I'll be honest too. When you're suffering financially, or I don't know, feeling lonely or unmotivated, our miserable ass wants some company. Misery loves company. Because, yeah, those thoughts cross your mind that, you were trying to make 3 steps forward, and if you made, 2 steps back, you're still progressing. It's just gonna cost you more. But then, when you're by yourself, you're thinking, yeah, I could have took 2 to 3 steps forward and, had someone to lean on. Right? That's not for me. Okay? That's not. I love my autonomy. I love the gratification that I get when I feel like, everything that I do for me is an achievement of self-sufficiency and being viable in this world. I don't want somebody talking about, oh, you only want me for my money. And it's just like, what? Say less. Right? Say less. And I know I've posted like on my Facebook page how these men are like, oh yeah, you women out here who think that you could survive in this world by yourself, you're a dead man walking. You just don't know it yet. And it's like, oh my God, you know, the enslavement is real. Okay? However, I can pat myself on the back and say basically, you know, I successfully, you know, managed to raise 2 children. I successfully managed to obtain some, Social Security benefits because I worked and, have pending pension benefits when I reach 65. I can successfully say that, I purchased a home, right? And yeah, there were several men who tried to come in and derail me, wanted to just, help me while they take over. I'm like, what are you, some kind of cuckoo bird? You're supposed to be the man. You're supposed to have a nest, a home for your mate. Why are you trying to push me out of my nest and then claim it as yours? Stop it. You're blocked. And you're like, what you talking about? Right? They get real obtuse then. All I was trying to do was help you. No, you were trying to help yourself. I would tell any guy, oh, you want to be my friend? Let me tell you something about being my friend. Once a friend will always stay in the friend zone. If you really trying to get with me, you better let me know now, and try to come correct. We're not going to do the friends with benefits. So, then a lot of them, they'll try to overcommit themselves, right? They don't have the discipline or the fortitude to, get into a stable relationship. They just don't. And then, they want to get mad when you clock them because you're watching them and you can see that, they're becoming a liability. And you can even tell them, hey, look, you're becoming a liability. And they'll get obtuse. What do you mean? Right? And the thing that I don't like about it is they know what they're doing and they know what you mean. They just want to know if they can get you to say something so they can refute or promise to do better. I promise, I won't do that again. And it's like, I don't feel like I should have to tell you what you can and cannot do. Because I may tell you not to do this, then you substitute your vices and addictions for something else. Okay? So, and I've watched videos where, you'll have these couples that both have food addictions. And it's sad because, they really have a codependent relationship. And they're not happy. Their conversation is surrounding food. And so they just eat more. When they go places, it's going to go get something to eat, right? But here's the thing, right? When you're coupled up, basically, it seems like there's only two outlets for couples, right? And that's eating and going to the movies. And a lot of times when you're going to the movies, they have, they got food at the movies now for real. It ain't just popcorn and soda no more and candy. They have a full fast food restaurant at these movie theaters now, right? And you can recline back in your chair and fall asleep right after you eat. So, I'm not really sure, what society's going to do, to keep America moving and keep, couples moving together. Even when I was single, I used to tell them, I said, well, I just, I know I need to stay moving, what can we do? You try to go for a walk with them. Well, they're mad because you're walking too slow. You say, well, okay, well, let's try, rallying a tennis ball back and forth. But instead, they really don't want to do it. So they get huge gratification watching you chase after the tennis ball. Because, they can, hit the tennis ball the furthest away from you as possible. Or with that speed, that you're scared to even hit the tennis ball. Okay? And I was like, just forget it. Just forget it. Right? And they're like, what's wrong? You know, and you're like, you know, you're just too competitive. You know, there's no reason for you to compete with me. You know, when we come out here, it's about getting exercise, bonding, and, doing things together. And you turn it into a competition, right? And so then they're like mad at me. I'm like, there's no reason to be mad at me. Right? I'm not a competitive sports player and I'm over 40, 50, 60. What you talking about? Right? So like I said, that kind of defeated the whole purpose. So I spent a lot of time, going to movies, you know, and then you had to find a movie that they like. And of course, they don't want to go see a love movie. Mm-mm. No. You tell them a love movie, they're like, what? They got porn in the theaters now? And you're like, no, it's a romantic comedy, right? And they're like, no, can't we just go see something with a little bit more action in it? Right? So you have to now eat your feelings, right? Your moment of bonding and being together is going to go watch somebody slaughter a whole country and is a hero. It's like, what? You want me to be romantic? Because you sat down with me? There was nothing romantic about that movie. Nothing. Well, didn't you like the popcorn and the soda? Yeah. I made you get 3 barrels of that shit. That's how much I had to eat my feelings. With extra butter. So I did that for a long time. And then when we leave the theater, they want to try to hold my hand. No, I don't feel like holding your hand. What's wrong? Absolutely nothing. I'm disgusted about the gore that I just watched on the movie theater. I'm disgusted that the hero was a fucking heathenistic, animal. Yeah. Not feeling very romantic at all. So, that's, my reminder whenever I think about, well, yeah, you're suffering and you're by yourself, maybe you could be in a relationship and at least you won't have those financial woes. Ooh. Ooh. Anyway, I just finished my walk. We have partial cloudy now. The sun is, diving in and out of the clouds. But thank you for watching Cherie's weight loss journey. Bye.